Well, he's he's doing the commentating for NXT.
He does?
Yeah. So he's kind of.
Nobody told me this.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I thought Real Dwayne and John Massey was still doing it.
Nah, this just switched up like recently.
Okay, so he's working with them.
Ever since they moved down to my school, Full Sail.
Oh, Full Sail, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's media man right there.
Yeah, so that kind of helps him out. Allows, he's kind of help. He's getting the young talent over everybody. Of course we all want to see him on Raw. It's JR. But if he can make us care, because you'll listen to it to hear what he has to say about these people.
Right, yeah.
And you'll take it with credibility. But the main event, John Cena versus CM Punk. Does Cena be the first person to unsuccessfully cash in his Money in the Bank? Was the question that lured through our minds all week. Who saw that coming?
I didn't see the way they did it coming. I loved it, and that's why I loved it, because I didn't see it. Was, you could tell it was very intricate and very creative. They did, they made you think about that one. That wasn't just like like it looked obvious. Big Show came out, disqualified. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? But the added twist with The Rock coming down, it sort of coming to Cena's aid. You know what I mean? You didn't see that coming because of The Rock and John Cena's previous feud.
Oh, of course.
And of course, those guys are potentially going to be at the Royal Rumble together at one point, so you never know. So with him coming out like that, and then CM Punk coming back, and I love the television when he did it, because the camera angle, you didn't see CM Punk standing right. As far as you saw on television, he left the ring.
Yeah.
And then he came back and jumped over and he took out The Rock. I was like, oh wow. It made sense. It didn't make John Cena the focal point of the situation, which I thank God for that. I love John Cena and what he does. I don't really love him that much, but he's cool for what he does. But I don't always want to see him like I want to see, you know what I mean? Because that's eventually the fans are like, come on now. We've seen enough, and I'm glad they don't put him in that position where he's going to get hated because you're giving us too much John Cena.
Right.
I think they're setting Punk up to be, hey, this is number 2, and hopefully he can be the top babyface, or well, I guess not anymore, but establishing this guy as the legit number 2 with the whole Randy Orton thing. I think Randy Orton he's gonna have some dues to pay. He's gonna fall back to number 3 and get remotivated and prove himself, because I think they're gonna go with Punk. He's reliable, he works, he's over with the fans. One way or another, they can turn him heel because it doesn't matter. You feel me? The kids are probably gonna boo him.
I tell you what, the tide might not turn as much as we think with the whole CM Punk situation. I feel like if CM Punk said all the things that John Cena said last year about The Rock, Punk would have still got cheered. Because we respect Punk more than we respect John Cena.
Right.
You talk about, Cena says about how he's not there all the time and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, I'm one of the people that agree that The Rock has earned his stripes. He can do whatever, he can come and go as he pleases. But, we know that CM Punk works hard.
Yeah.
He works hard to, to be where he is at this level. So if he says it, it wasn't handed to him. He had to earn it, every bit of it. So, I mean, maybe the fans can relate more to him and when he says it than when John Cena could. Because personally, I don't see Punk as a heel.
Yeah, I think he's gonna change his persona, but it's not gonna make a differse. It's not gonna make a difference.
You guys don't think so?
They'll still cheer him, right?
Yeah, I think he'll be more of an anti-hero than more of a heel. Like, he'll come out there and he'll insult everybody. It's like Kevin Cena in Ring of Honor. He came out and insulted the New York crowd, and they cheered him even more.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do with the guy. You know what I mean? I think because like Cam said, you can respect the fact that we all know John Cena was sort of put there, and but the CM Punk, we saw when there was nothing. We saw the pipe bomb. We saw the gradual climb, and the way they said, let's sort of work with, let's play on this. You have a problem with this backstage. Let's take this and put it on front of TV. That's the best storylines. Based off real life things. We saw with Brock Lesnar and Triple H. They're playing out the storyline that happened years ago. Yeah. They said, let's just take what happened, let's put it in story form, and let's come out there. And they're doing the same thing with CM Punk, and I think it works. It's something he's invested in, and I can't wait to see verbal jabs between CM Punk and The Rock. I think it'll be more believable.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, The Rock is going to step his game up. Because let's face it, a lot of people, I'm not one of them, but a lot of people got bored with a lot of his comments leading into WrestleMania. So
I did.
The Rock's going to definitely step his game up. But when I saw Punk get back in the ring and start, beating up on The Rock, and I saw the crowd boo him, I was happy.
Yeah.
I think he'll go back, maybe start dipping into that straight edge persona. He's always been straight edge, but he'll start dipping into that. He'll start talking, insulting the crowd. And now, like I said, you line up a few baby faces for me. We got Rey Mysterio's back. Obviously, Randy Orton. If Randy Orton goes back, they say he'll be in the title hunt. He'll probably go back to Raw.
You think so? I think he's going to smack and work with Ziggler. That's what I heard. But you can't listen to dirt sheets.
Yeah, that's what. But I don't think, because if they're gonna put him in the title picture, it doesn't make sense to put him over there, because obviously they're trying to establish Sheamus as the guy.
I don't know, man. I hope they give up on him.
I want them to give up on him too, but
Christian Cage.
Yeah, but see, you put Randy Orton, Cena, and Big Show. Big Show still has a problem with Cena,
right?
So that's not finished yet. But you could throw Randy Orton in there. For Punk, it's better for him to be the #1 heel than the #2 babyface.
That's true.
And you brought up something about The Rock, and it took me back to when everybody was complaining, but now you don't hear too many complaints. Why? Because them WrestleMania checks didn't hit, and I'm pretty sure a lot of those guys was like, "Hey man, yeah, we was complaining about The Rock, but I made a lot more money. Cody Rhodes got new ring gear before WrestleMania. That money was able to pay for that and more." So a lot of those guys not complaining too much when they started WrestleMania checks. It's kind of like back in the '80s when people in the backstage was complaining about Zeus coming to SummerSlam, teaming with Savage. Hogan said when they saw them checks,
yeah, that changes everything.
Exactly.
That's true though. I heard nothing about after WrestleMania. Everybody's like, oh. Like, they was already getting a WrestleMania check, but it's like, oh, wait a minute. Rock's on the card in Miami? You know what? Matter of fact, Rock, he was good for business. I didn't think about it.
Exactly.
So, you a team bring it. Cam, were you team bring it for WrestleMania?
What, this past WrestleMania?
Yeah. Okay. We all know that we engaged in a few Team Cena versus Team Bring It.
Right.
For like months before WrestleMania. And I gave The Rock the blues because when I saw The Rock, that wasn't the guy that I grew up watching. I will say this. That was The Rock that I saw that came back this past Monday.
Which part? When he was in the feud with Daniel Bryan?
Period. When he came back, period.
Okay.
Everything he did, that was The Rock.
Okay.
He was on point. He was intense. He was fierce. And he showed it. It didn't look like he was rehearsing like he did with... Now, I understand, because he's ring rust, stuff like that. But I think him coming back to WrestleMania and he's back in grip, that was The Rock. That guy who came back and his verbal jab.
Not the one that was in the ring.
I mean,
that wasn't The Rock.
For Woody.
Oh wait, he sold.
Yeah.
That must have been High Chief Peter Maivia in the ring that night.
Oh, come on, Cam. That was
too like a dead man.
Come on.
Wow.
He moved like a corpse.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are the views of Mr. Trenton CMG, the brains behind the Operation Camera G.
There you go.
But that is not the views of everybody in the Wrestling Wrealm.
There you
Just
go.
one of our members.
See?
This man moved like his feet was in quicksand. Okay, I've seen The Rock.
He's old.
I've seen him at his best, and I think I've officially seen him at his worst. And you know what? It could have been that extra muscle he put on. It could have been the extra muscle because we saw him on Monday, and he wasn't all chiseled like that on Monday. He wasn't all, cocked up and everything. So he lost a little bit of weight. Maybe he'll move around better now. And if anybody's going to make him work, it's going to be CM Punk.
No, yeah, I mean, just the opportunity. You know what I mean? I think The Rock's going to, put him over well. Even if CM Punk loses to The Rock, it's good for business because it's The Rock, period. You know what I mean? And and then the chase. You know what I mean? That'll be, and then hey, when Rock get ready to leave, he can give it back to CM Punk. That's what I would prefer.
Well, what do you guys think? The Rock winning the title at Royal Rumble, which looks like it's going to go that way. I mean, we've been watching wrestling long enough.
CM Punk, how long
is that good?
7 months.
Yeah, and so by then it'll be a year and 2 months if he holds
Woo,
on to
yes.
it. And I know I saw Cam once. If
Yes.
CM Punk holds the title that long and The Rock is able to take it from him, do we see The Rock in the several weeks leading up to WrestleMania, or does he take the '80s approach and we only get the we got to pay to see the champion, meaning only at Elimination Chamber and only at WrestleMania? Or is it somewhere like in between?
I don't know. I mean, because you look at it depends on what we know about The Rock. Maybe The Rock's done filming for a little bit, and he's going to have a little bit of time in WWE, show on a regular basis, stuff like that. That would be pretty cool because he finally makes way on his promise that he said I'm coming back, and he's actually there. So like I wouldn't be opposed to that, but if not, I don't know. I mean, I would prefer it not be that way. But I mean, like if he showed up, if he was there every week, even if he didn't wrestle, yada yada yada, and maybe he introduces a new belt. So you know what? I'm not wearing this crap. I'm The Rock, and comes out with something new.
That could be his whole purpose.
You know what I mean?
For all we know, that could be his whole purpose.
I mean, they are designing a new belt. They're trying to get it situated. The first draft what they didn't look too well. CM Punk like this is worse than what we got now.
Yeah. And then let's look at it like this: CM Punk's now a heel. and he could say something that he could really play on the kids. Yeah, this is a toy. This is what the kids like. I'm not wearing this. And he introduced a new belt Monday whenever he fully explains himself.
I mean, look what Cody did when he brought back the IC title. Nobody saw that coming. I didn't see it coming. I'm a belt guy, so I'm always on top of what's coming new and this, that, and third.
Right.
You know, BeltTalk.com. You know, so when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, that caught me off guard, and it was a good surprise.
You know, my girl's the only person I know that actually likes the tag team titles.
The big pennies.
We was looking at belts the other night.
Oh, the big pennies.
The big pennies, yo.
This is nice. It's got the bronze. I'm like, what are you doing? This is garbage.
Man, they look like bronze medals. That's third place. That's what it says about that. Now, Cam, if anybody has something about prestige and tag team titles, we might be on the same page as that's concerned. But I don't like the bronze pennies.
I don't either. But you know.
They with those Roman helmets and stuff on, that makes absolutely no sense, you know.
Michigan State bronze medal champion.
I tell you what, as far as the Rock situation at the Royal Rumble, I would like to see if somebody interfere with that match. Let's just say it is Punk and the Rock. Let somebody come in and interfere, and then the Rock can put another guy over at WrestleMania.
Daniel Bryan.
Put a guy over at WrestleMania. He didn't put John Cena over. Cena put himself over because he did all the work that night.
Well, here we go with that again.
Yeah, he did.
It's the truth.
He did.
Watch that match.
Thank you.
Cena was the man that night. I said I would never say the bad thing about him ever again after that. He earned my respect.
It certainly was not The Rock's best match. I will say that. Thank you. I'll go on record and say that. But
don't edit this out either, yo.
I promise I won't. I wish The Rock wouldn't have been just soaking up the crowd and gave us what he did at Survivor Series. Survivor Series, he was on point. The crowd's chanting, "You still got it." Nobody was chanting, "You still got it" at WrestleMania. Everybody was. All right, let's call it for what it is. We was happy to see The Rock in the ring,
right? Exactly.
And The Rock, he took advantage of that. So yeah, Cena was like, "All right, they already gonna hate me. I ain't got nothing to lose." And I mean,
it's bad.
He showed us that if John Cena was to become a heel, some of the tactics he would resort to,
right?
Taking off the wristband.
Oh, yeah.
But then, you know, you was talking about The Rock's verbal jabs, how The Rock was, back in his form. You know, Daniel Bryan, this is a guy 10 years ago who was ready to call it a quits.
Right.
Ready to say, you know what, I'll probably just go get a job somewhere. The wrestling business is never going to work out for me. If you would have told him then, stay in the Daniel Bryan, 10 years later, you're going to be in the same ring with The Rock, he'd have looked at you and said, please.
Yeah, okay.
You know? Now, if I tell you 10 years later, the Real Dwayne Allen, you're going to be sitting next to Kevin Dunn. You know, Cam, if I say you're going to be, Jim Johnston is going to be putting you over, and you're going to be the guy taking over all the themes.
You can't see Cameron G right now, but he's cheesing right now.
Right.
He's feeling good about that comment.
I'm just saying, but if somebody told Daniel Bryan that, he didn't have the confidence in himself that you gentlemen have. He didn't have the confidence. He was like, no, my wrestling career is over, I'm done. And then look, on Raw, he's in the ring getting caught at Oompa Loompa from The Rock. It's probably one of the best moments in his career.
Yeah. Yeah. The fact that he was even there.
As far as his sports entertainment career.
Right, absolutely. It actually gave me hope because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm saying The Rock and Daniel Bryan go back and forth. Wait a minute, we might have something here. I would love to see all three of those guys work together in some capacity because Daniel Bryan's like, I don't know how, but somehow I'm going to be involved in this WWE Championship. So if that guy who interferes, maybe it's Daniel Bryan. Just to say, no, I'm the greatest superstar of all time. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing he's doing now, like I'm the greatest that ever was. You know what I mean?
If anybody deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. If anybody deserves it, it's definitely a guy like him. I mean, this guy's...
Considering his last two WrestleMania appearances.
Yeah, that sucks. That pissed me off.
The quick job, and then not even being on the program the year before that.
I'm still not over that.
And they said a third time's a charm, you know? So he gets The Rock on a third attempt. I mean that's not going to be no 5-second match. That's going to be a good match.
I mean, maybe that's the payoff. Maybe that's hey, listen, you do this now, we'll take care of it later. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
You know, and then the Real Dwayne Allen is going to go into the Wrestling Wrealm group page, which you can find on Facebook, saying, Daniel Bryan lost in 5 seconds. Oh, my bad. 18 seconds. You still mad?
Yeah, that's what I do now. Like every time somebody comes out something, and then all of a sudden nobody's announcing. You guys remember you guys this in third? You still angry? No, I don't think so.
I'm still angry at Chris Jericho and those great promos he had leading up to his return. I'm still angry about that.
I forgot all about those. That's how bad that is.
I haven't gotten my payoff yet.
Well, you'll get it. He's working with Ziggler. You know, we're going to get 5-star matches right there.
Ziggler's going
Isn't that man, isn't he going back to touring sometime soon?
in the fall.
That's what he says, but you know, we know Jericho. Jericho tell us a bunch of stuff on the internet, and
he was supposed to been do that.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, some people.
I thought so in July. I thought.
Yeah.
Well, who's to say? Did he do that during his He probably took a small tour while he was on suspension.
Oh yeah. Well, he was out for 30 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know they don't have that many dates. No offense, father.